Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Daily Soulful Learning. It's great to be together with you. School started. We're watching our kids off to elementary school, to high school, to preschool, to college. And as parents, we are all hoping and praying that our children have a successful year, that they grow, they make good friendships, good connections, and that they thrive. What lesson can we learn as parents that is important as a message to us as we are praying for our children to have a beautiful year? It says in this week's Torah portion, a commandment, that parents should not consume blood. It's considered to be negative, spiritually and physically, for the human being, for the Jew, to consume blood. But the words that the Torah uses is that you should not consume blood so that it should be good for you and for your children. What does one's children have to do with the individual not consuming blood? And over here we learn the great lesson that in life, our children mirror the parents. And so therefore, if a person chooses to not eat blood, not only will it be good for the parent, but also good for the child. And if a parent on the other end chooses to consume blood, just like it will be negative for the parent, it will also be negative for the child. Our children mirror the parents. Our children watch, they look, they listen, they digest, and then they act. There's a great story. This story could have happened with anyone, but this is the way I heard it. That there was a Jew who once came to the Rabbi and complained that he wasn't happy with his children. He wasn't happy in particular in the way that his children were following the path of living a Jewish life. The father would have wanted that the child would have been more passionate and proud and engaged Jewishly, just like he was. And he was watching his children grow to a different way, to a different direction, and this was bringing the father an immense amount of pain. The Rebbe looks at this father and asks him a pointed question. He says, if I may ask you, are you careful to put on tefillin every single day? To this, the father answered, no. So the Rebbe says, so then what are you shocked about? In your own life that you model for your children, you are showing that even in areas of Judaism, you pick and choose. So your child is simply doing the same thing. He is now growing up, he is now getting older, and he is doing the exact same thing. He's picking and choosing. It's another great story that I heard from a local rabbi, that there once was a family that yet again complained for the same exact reason. You weren't excited or happy to watch their children drifting away from living a passionate Jewish life. The rabbi asked the couple, it's about to be Sukkot, now that your children are not home anymore, are you building a sukkah in your backyard? The parents laughed. They said, no, we did it every single year when our children were living with us. But now that they're out of the house and they live in their own homes, we're simply not building a sukkah celebrating the festival of Sukkot. And of course, the rabbi smiled and says, your children are just watching, and they're simply acting in the same way. The greatest way that we can hope that our children will follow the path that we are praying for them, we as parents have a responsibility to model the behavior that we're hoping that the children will have. If we want our children to be generous, we need to model that behavior and be generous. If we want our children to be kind, we need to model that behavior and be kind. If we want our children to take studying serious, we need to model that behavior and show our children how we ourselves have continued learning and education, even though it's been years since we're in school. If we want our children to be good with the friends in their classroom, It's important for the parents to model friendship, connection, engage with community and what it looks like, so on and so forth. If we want our children to be proud Jews and engaged Jews, it's important for us to model that behavior in showing a life that is passionate, committed, and dedicated to living a very proud Jewish life. My dear friends, our children look, our children watch, our children listen, our children take it in. They're starting a new year. We're praying for their best, but let's do the best thing that we can besides for prayer. Let's take action about all of the things that we're hoping and praying for our children. Model that behavior, and God willing, our children will mirror it, and they'll have a blessed, fulfilled, energized, dynamic, and unbelievably successful year ahead to be continued.